Hello students, back with another online video class, and today we will be doing English course. Now before I jump into the topic and the other aspects of the chapter, I would like to show you all something. Okay, look at it very carefully. I hope all of you can see what I am showing all of you. Yes, now my question is, what do you think these are? Well, I hope by now all of you are jumping to answer. Yes, I know that all of you are correct at your guess. These are beautiful, colorful, bright bangles. Correct. Now, all of a sudden, why am I showing you bangles? We are not here to talk about jewelry or embellishments. We are here to talk about our text. Now, the reason for me to show you the bangles is that the topic that we will be doing today, or the poem that we will be doing today, has very close association with bangles. Yes, you heard me correct. Bangles. Now, I hope that with the cue that I have given you, you would have understood by now that the poem in course, which we will be doing, is alright, it is The Bangle Sellers by Sarojini Naidu. So let us talk about the poet, that is Sarojini Naidu. A quick introduction to the author. So Sarojini Naidu was born on 13th February 1879 and she passed away on 2nd of March 1949. So when she was born, the place was called Hyderabad, which later on became a part of Telangana. Now this woman, I hope I'm not demanding that all of you must know her, but it would be better for you all to know this person beforehand. If you have heard her name, very fine. If you haven't, get to know her now. There is no scope where you may not learn something. You have the time and the age to learn new things at every step. So let us get introduced to the poet. Now, she was a very, very prominent figure in India's struggle for independence from colonial rule. If you have read your history, you would understand that India was under the British rule, and she played a very, very prominent part in freeing India against the colonial rule. And if you are aware, we also have a college by her name, Sarojini Naidu College. So she fought not only for the freedom of the people of India, but also for the emancipation of women. She wanted women to get educated. She wanted women to get enlightened. And she's also known by another name. She has a sobriquet or a pen name. It is called the Nightingale of India. Now, if you are aware, we have two nightingales. One, we are already aware of the person now. She is Sarojini Naidu. And can anyone guess the other name? If you have guessed it correct, give a pat on your back. And if you haven't, no problem. It is Lata Mangeshkar. I hope you have heard her melodious voice. I hope everyone knows by now who Lata Mangeshkar is. Now, Lata Mangeshkar was known as the Nightingale of India because of her very, very melodious voice. Now, Sarojini Naidu was known as the Nightingale of India because of her work. They were very, very touchy, filled with emotional content, and people would relate to those because the stories that she dealt with were very ordinary, were based on people, ordinary people, but with extraordinary attempts and stories. Now, one of her very, very prominent work would be The Golden Threshold. It is a collection of poems. Okay, so this much for the author or the poet of the poem The Bangle Sellers, that is Sarojini Naidu. Now, I would give you a term. If you know the meaning, fine. If not, I'll help you out. Hawkers. Now, generally, when I talk about hawkers, the exact definition of hawkers would be, or hawker would be, a person who travels about selling goods, especially by shouting. So this shouting part is important. In order to make their presence felt, what hawkers would do, they would move about from one place to another, shouting so that they can attract the attention of the people, and then the people would come out and buy materials from them. Now, the concept of hawker is something that is very, very archaic or old. It has been happening for a long period of time. You people yourselves have come across hawkers. There are some hawkers who do not shift, like they have a permanent place where they sell their goods, and there are some hawkers who move from one place to another. Like, let me give you some instance. In your locality, you would find a person with a van selling a lot of utensils and materials, shouting. So that is a hawker who moves from one place to another. He doesn't have a permanent place to sell his supplies. Now, there are certain hawkers, like if you have boarded a local train, I'm not talking about express trains, local trains, you would find people getting onto it with innumerable stuff, selling their elements, their supplies by summoning the people. So those are also called hawkers. And you would also find hawkers selling food. Now, this does not happen too much nowadays, except ice cream. All of you know people shouting the name of ice cream and selling the ice creams. But apart from that, hawkers would also sell sweets. This does not happen now, but it used to happen. They would sell sweets, they would sell yogurt, they would sell dry fruits, etc., etc. Now, I hope you people are aware of the name Rabindranath Tagore or Rabindranath Tagore. Now, this man, when he was young, what he would do, he would stare outside his window and he would derive a lot of satisfaction, contentment, pleasure by looking outside. He never really liked the confines of the four walls, so he always believed that he loved being with nature and being a part of the outside world. So what he would do, he would stare outside and he would see hawkers shouting, coming in and selling their supplies. And he would also see people selling yogurt, which in Bengali we say doi. It can be mishti or it can be the sour one. So the concept of hawker, I hope by now is clear to all of you, that it has been going on for a long period of time. But the hawkers that we will be doing today in this particular poem, they do not move immediately. Of course, they move from one place to another because that is how they sell their supplies. But here they have a temporary place where they settle, they sell their goods, and then they move about. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin with the poem, The Bangle Sellers, shall we? All right. Now, if I get into the poem, we would find that the poem has been divided into 4 stanzas. Okay. Now, the first stanza is talking about the people who sell the bangles. But we will not be doing about, or we will not be emphasizing on the people who sell the bangles, but rather what the people are selling, that is the bangles. So each stanza signifies or symbolizes stages of a woman's life. Okay, in stanza 2 we have we will be talking about a maiden's life, that is an unmarried woman. In the next stanza we'll be talking about a woman who is married, is happily married and has a life of her own. And in the last stanza we will be talking about an experienced woman who has seen a lot in her family, has gone through a lot in her family, has seen the sufferings and has overcome all the problems and is a much more experienced and matured woman. So what are the bangles that would suit their hands? That is how the sellers are trying to sell their products by publicly proclaiming the colors, the importance of the bangles. So I would like to caution you regarding something, that is, if I or if you all simply read the poem without understanding the inner meanings, it would, the purpose of the poet writing this poem would be rendered ineffective. It would serve no purpose. You will have to feel the emotion, you will have to understand the colors, the symbol, the importance, the relevance of the colors very, very thoroughly. So you will have to imagine the scenarios that are being portrayed by the poet herself. All right, so don't be a robot, don't be a mechanical uh, instrument and just learn the lines by heart. Don't do it. Try and understand it and then learn the lines. Okay, so let us begin. Bangle sellers are who we bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Who will buy these delicate bright, rainbow-tinted circles of light? Lustrous tokens of radiant lives for happy daughters and happy wives. So in the first stanza, as I told you, the bangle sellers are trying to sell their bangles. So they are trying to summon the people in their own technique. Okay, if you want to sell something, you will have to attract the attention of the passerbys, or else there's no point having your supplies and moving out if you fail to convince the buyers. So they're trying to convince the buyers. How? They're saying bangle sellers are who we bear. We are carrying shining loads. Now where are they setting up? They are setting themselves up at the temple fair. So there's a fair. I hope you know what a fair is. In a fair you would find innumerable stalls selling pickles, selling balloons, having rides, beautiful rides, selling bangles and what not. Especially very delicious tidbits are also, foods are also sold. So this is a temple fair and they are selling their bangles. Now they are asking, who will buy these delicate? Now the meaning of the word delicate is very fine in texture or structure. So they are very finely created with a lot of beautiful intricate designs and they are very fragile. Now we are talking about glass bangles. Now if you mishandle the bangle, what would happen? It would fall and it would shatter to pieces. So they're very delicate. Delicate, bright, rainbow tinted circles of light. Now why rainbow tinted? Because there are multiple infusions of colors in those bangles. Now if you take a glass and you put it under light, you would find that the 7 colors of the rainbow are visible. So that's why rainbow tinted, colored, beautifully colored circles of light. Now why are they being referred to as light? They're not light, they are referred to as light because they are shining. Now they are circular bangles. Let me help you with a demonstration. Now if you consider this is a bangle. Now these are circular bangles. Now if you place these under light, they would shine. So that is why they are being called as shining lights, circular bangles, circles of light. Lustrous tokens of radiant light. Now, lustrous is bright. Tokens are basically, what do I say? They are emblems, they are symbols of radiant lives. Now radiant is happy. So the colorful bangles, they are equivalent to bright, beautiful lives of people. Okay, so the bangles are bright, they're colorful, they're vibrant. Like that, lives of women are also vibrant, beautiful, colorful. For happy daughters and happy wives. So we will have to understand that they are trying to sell their material by harping, by emphasizing on the fact that these are bright colors and they would bring merriment and joy into the lives of women. So for happy women and happy daughters, these bangles are perfect. All right. So this is the first stanza of the poem. I hope you have understood it. Let's move on to the next stanza. Now we are getting into the stages of a woman's life, from a young girl to a married woman and then to an experienced woman having a family of her own. Some are meet for a maiden's wrist. Meet your proper. So some of the bangles, now all the bangles will not suit everyone. We will have to understand the color pattern. Like some colors would look very pretty on a young girl's wrist, whereas some colors would look very suitable for a woman who is married, a middle-aged woman. So they are saying that some are proper for a maiden's wrist. Now the meaning of the word maiden is an unmarried girl or a young woman. So a girl who is not yet married off. She's an unmarried girl. So some of the bangles are proper or fit to embellish the hands of a maiden. Silver and blue. Now what type of bangles would suit them? The bangle sellers themselves are coming up with ideas or choices. Silver and blue as the mountain mist. Now we are emphasizing, or we are getting into the lap of nature. So where are the bangle sellers, or where is the poet taking cues for her beautiful bright colors? She is taking aid of nature. Okay, so silver and blue as the mountain mist. Now if you look at the mist are clouds. So like the beautiful whitish silver color of the clouds, some of the bangles are that color of the mountain mist. So if you close your eyes and if you try to portray the beautiful colors, you would find that the mountains, imagine we are at Nainital, and in Nainital you would find that there are huge mountains and they are snow covered, and in those mountains and amongst the snow you would find the clouds just rushing in. Now if you close your eyes and picture, it's a beautiful scenery, and there you would find the white clouds with the sky, the blue sky peeping from the clouds. All right, so that is the color of the bangles. Some are flushed like the buds that dream on the tranquil brow of a woodland stream. So some of them are like the buds, flushed like buds. So flushed are, some bangles are silvery bluish in color like that of the mountain mists. Some of them are bright red. Flushed is red, bright red like the bud. I hope you know what a bud is. It's just the point where the flower is called a bud, or in Bengali we say kuri, which had not bloomed properly. So some of them are bright red buds. Imagine those buds that dream of what? Dream of blooming to its full vitality, to its full vigor one day. Okay, on the tranquil brow of a woodland stream. On a tranquil, the meaning of the word tranquil is peaceful. Now brow of a woodland stream. So imagine it's a stream. A stream is flowing. Now these you will have to imagine. I know you're sitting in a room, you're listening to me, but if you do not imagine, you would never be able to understand the colors of nature, because nature plays with colors. Beautiful variations of colors are found in nature. So imagine that a stream is flowing by. Okay, stream is water that is flowing. A small narrow river can be called a stream. So a small narrow river is flowing by, and there you find that beautiful buds, trees or plants, shrubs have buds that are about to bloom. It's the color of those buds. On a tranquil brow, that is a peaceful, the river is not a tumultuous, it's a peaceful stream flowing, making rippling sounds, very soothing to the ears, of a woodland stream. Some are of that color. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves. Some are bright with the bloom that clips, that sticks out, the limpid glory of newborn leaves. So basically by the stream you would find lots of shrubs, lots of beautiful budding plants, and in them some of the bangles resemble that of the red bud of a flower, some resembles the flower, the color of a flower that has already bloomed. So imagine some of the bangles can be red in color, some of them can be red infused with orange. It's a mix and match because we are talking about rainbow tinted bangles. So it has amalgamation, mixture of different colors infused into the bangles, glass bangles. So some are that color, some of them are the colors of full bloomed flowers, and some to the limpid, that is clear or transparent, something that you can see through, glory of newborn leaves. So if I say the color of a newborn leaves, it would be something that is very light greenish in color. Okay, like this, to some extent, the color of this particular stick. So some of them are very, very light green in color, and they would look beautiful if they are infused in a bangle. So the poet is taking cues or hints from the colors that she herself can find in nature, and that is how she has created the bangles. Okay, or the bangle sellers are trying to compare the beautiful colors of the nature that they have infused in those glass bangles. Okay, so the second stanza they are talking about, it is talking about the bangles that are suited for a young girl's wrists. Okay, not a married one, the unmarried one. The next stanza we are talking about a woman who is about to get married. So she's about to begin with her new life, her new phase, or her new journey. Let's continue. Some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride on her bridal morn. Some like the flame of her marriage fire, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire, tinkling luminous, tender and clear, like her bridal laughter and bridal turn. So this part is talking about a woman who is excited, who is nervous, who is a bit apprehensive because she does not know what awaits her in her new phase of her life, but at the same time she's eager to embrace her new life. So she is in an ambiguous state. She is in a confused state, whether to be very happy about it or to be very nervous about it. So it's a mixture of emotions that she is going through. She's puzzled, she's flummoxed, she's a bit confused. Now, bangles are created for that moment as well, for a woman who's about to get married. So what are the colors? Some are like fields of sunlit corn. Now please close your eyes and try to imagine that you are in a field, and the field is filled with corn cobs, corns, and they are absolutely ripe. So what would the color of a ripe corn be? Beautiful golden yellow. So imagine the whole field is appearing as if someone has melted gold and has spread the gold onto the field, like the way you spread butter onto the bread. So the whole field is golden in color. So some of the bangles are golden in color. Okay, sunlit corn, proper for a bride on her bridal morn. So when a woman is about to get married, she generally chooses colors which are bright in color. Very bright red, bright magenta, bright aubergine, bright pink, etc., etc. So the colors are bright in color. They're not dull. Now, this is very important. You know why? Because the color, the bright colors, they signify, they symbolize the state of her mind. She's very happy, she's very jolly, she's very jovial, and hence to signify her state of mind, she's wearing bright colors. Now, this is very relatable, because when I say, suppose a day has gone where you're not very happy, you're very sad, you won't feel like talking to people. Now, all bright colors, they don't appear bright at that point of time because of your mental state. You're so sad that you switch the power, switch the light off in your room, and you just lie down quietly, you listen to music. The room is generally dark and gloomy. So that actually portrays your state. So when we are talking about bright, beautiful colors, that means that the person is in a very jovial or happy state. The yellow color also symbolizes the state of a person's mind. So here, a woman who is about to get married is obviously very happy, very jolly. So she would choose bright colors. So the bangle sellers are talking about beautiful bright colors that would suit the mental state of a bride to be. So that the first type of bangle is done. Second, some like the flame of a marriage fire. Now, there's this concept of 7 steps around the fire. In Bengali, we say Shat Pake Badha. So basically, when the bride and the groom, they are circling around, you would see that they're circling around a fire. Now, if you look at the flame, the color of the fire, it is not simply red. It is red, it's a bit of orange, it's a bit of yellow. Sometimes you would see blue hues, purple hues coming in. So it's a concoction, mixture of innumerable colors together. It appears beautiful, but I would suggest you not to get near that. It's dangerous, it can eat you up. So now some of the bangles that are created, they are infused with multiple colors. So that of the flames of our marriage fire. So the bangles have tints of blue mixing up with tints of orange, then red, then purple, then whatnot. So the bangles are beautifully bright in colors, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire. So hue is color with her heart's desire. Now, what does her heart desire at that point of time? Don't forget, she's about to get married. So what's is going inside her heart is that it's palpitating, it's a bit nervous, it's a bit happy, excited, overjoyed. So it's a mixture of emotions. So the bangles are also filled with a mixture of colors to signify the emotions, the variegated emotions that the girl or the woman is going through at that point of time. Most of them are very positive, very optimistic emotions. We can consider them to be happy. Tinkling, luminous, tender and clear. So they are tinkling because if you keep them under the light, a glass bangle would shine, they would tinkle. Luminous, bright. Tender is something that can be they're very gentle. If you will have to be very tender with glass bangles, because if they slip, they will break and shatter. And clear, yes, they're very clear in color. They can be seen through. I'm not saying that they're transparent, but they are translucent, not opaque, like her bridal laughter and bridal tear. So the bangles symbolize the mental state, the condition of the bride at that point of time. So she is not only happy, but she's also sad. Now, why is she happy and sad both at the same point of time? Yes, she's happy because she's about to begin her new phase of life. She's about to join her new state of life. That's why she's happy. She's about to have a whole new family of her own. And she's sad because she is leaving her parents behind. Now, this is the norm of Hindu marriages. When you get married, you leave your parents' house and you move ahead and you shift into your in-laws' house. That doesn't mean that she's completely breaking off. It's basically she's joining, she's acting as a bridge between the two families that she's a part of now. So she has an extended family. So she's leaving her parents behind and she's joining her new in-laws house. So that's why she's sad, because she is born and brought up by her parents. Now she has to leave them behind and move ahead. That's why she's a bit sad, but she's also happy because she is joining, she's about to be part of a new family. That's why she is happy, she's laughing, and she's crying because she's leaving her parents behind. Okay, so the first stage talked about the bangles suited for an unmarried woman. The second stage is talking about a woman's life where she's about to get married, and the last stanza would be talking about a woman who is a very experienced one, who has seen the ups and downs in her family, and she has successfully overcome all the troubles of life. Okay, so let's move on to the last stanza. Now, this stanza is talking about bangles which would suit a middle-aged woman. So some are purple and gold flecked grey, for her who has journeyed through life midway, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, and cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, who served her household in fruitful pride, and worships the God at her husband's side. This stage of a woman is that she's much more calm, she's composed, she knows how to handle situations, she knows how to tackle, how to take care of her household. So, what bangles would suit this kind of a woman? Let's talk about that. So, the bangle that they are talking about, the bangle sellers are trying to sell, is that some are purple and gold flecked grey. So these bangles are purple in color with specks of gold on them. So in Bengali we say chite. So as if one has taken a brush and has spread the gold colors onto the paper. So that is the how you create flecks. So the beautiful purple color of the bangle is intertwined with spots of purple on them. Sorry, of gold on them. Okay. Flecked grey. Flecked is spotted with gold. As what I said, if you see a leopard, you would see that the yellow color of the leopard have specks of black or brown on them. So like that, the purple color bangle has dots of gold on them that would suit a middle-aged woman hand. For her who has journeyed through life midway. So she is at the middle of something. Midway is towards the middle of something. So she has half finished her journey. Okay, and these are the bangles that would suit her, and not the red flushed bangles that a woman about to be getting married will be wearing. Whose hands have cherished, whose hands have cared for tenderly. Now she's a middle-aged woman, so she has been married for quite a long time. She must have offspring or children, so she has taken care of her children with utmost care and delicate hands. Now if I'm talking about mothers, now you know that mothers are multi-talented. They are very cautious about how to take care of their children. So she knows how to take care of her children, and she has taken care, utmost care, to make her children comfortable in the world, in the society. And not only mothers, I would say parents, they take utmost care to shield, to guard their child from any exterior harm or impending harm. All right. So who have cherished those love, though whose love has blessed. So we are talking about hands who have taken care of her or of his child, okay, with utmost love, with utmost tenderness, whose love has blessed. The word is blessed, blessed. So blest, blessed, is the archaic or the old form of the word blessed. Blessed. So she has blessed. And so what I was talking about cradle. So here, cradle means, a cradle is a cot kind of a thing that is used to rock a baby. So cradle is your cradle being hold gently or protectively. Now if you hold on to a baby, you have to be very gentle and tender with the baby. So the way the baby has been cradled or held on to. Fair sons on her faithful breast. So what she has done is that she has taken utmost care to hold on to her child with love, with tender care, onto her, what do I say, her herself, onto herself. She has taken utmost care to hold on to the baby and raise the child with utmost love and care, who serves her household in fruitful pride. So she's serving her household with a sense of fulfillment. Fruitful pride is sense of fulfillment, sense of satisfaction, sense of contentment that she has done her work, she has done her job. Not in a sense, she has fulfilled her responsibility with utmost care, and she's very content and satisfied with it, and worships the gods at her husband's side. So she, along with her husband, they both have an equal place in the household. So both have their responsibilities, both have their liabilities, and they do it with utmost care and utmost dedication. So, like a husband, like the man of the house who takes care of the prospect of earning the livelihood, a woman is also equally equivalent and important in taking care of the household. So, both of them fulfill or serve their purpose equally in a much important manner, and they do it together with their hands tied together. Okay. By her husband's side, they worship the god. By now, I hope you understand the significance and relevance of women. So I hope I would not be wrong calling them Lord or Goddess Durga. Like Goddess Durga, who has 10 hands, our mothers, they have 10 invisible hands. We cannot see them, but they are constantly working, taking care of the household, taking care of everything, and making sure that everything is in order. So, this poem, I hope by now you have understood that it talks about the various stages of a woman's life and the bangles that are meant to fit and look proper and embellish their beautiful, delicate, tender arms. Okay. So I hope you have understood the poem and hope to see you in our next video. So for today, this